Found myself constantly reaching for the month of March. Like I said, I've gotten into these body oils, and Skin Potion was a line that I was introduced to by Peyton Charles. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Claudia Nyree, and I was asked to start a series once a month to say what was I fanatic over, like what was my favorites, what were some of the things that I constantly reach for in each month. I thought about doing this, but since it was a request, I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I was like, it's so many things I get into. I didn't know if y'all really would even be interested in it. So here it goes. And it's up to you all to let me know if I should continue each month and tell you what were the things that I just could not get enough of. So the ball's in your court. But so let's talk about March. What could I just not get enough of in March, right? This is a fragrance channel. Before I get deep into that, this is a fragrance channel. This is really a beauty channel. I talk about all things that smell great. I love to smell good. Those are things that I'm quite passionate about. So I do discuss fragrances, lotions, bath products, anything that will make me smell great. I am a fanatic for just a good aroma, right? So if you've never heard of me and this is your first time ever coming across my page, then please subscribe. You can follow me on all my social medias. You can hear from me daily, mostly on Instagram. I do post videos here on YouTube probably once or twice a week, but it's solely based on what you want to talk about. That's how I run this page. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to hear about? You put it in the chat, in the comments. Let me know about it, and then I try to find a way to talk about it. But to the subscriber that asked me, what am I most interested in, or what was I most interested in for March? This one is for you. All right, so I think that everyone should pick a book, right? I am a adamant book reader. So I think that anyone should pick a book, something that you can read for the month. For some of us, we can get through several books or whatever. But I think you should pick a book, right? So the book I picked for March was The Astonishing Power of Emotions, right? So it was the Esther Jerry Hicks book that talks about Adam. And you'll see me looking down on it because I wrote notes as I went through the book. And the book looks like this. And of course, I think I've already posted the picture above my head of the book that I read. Well, this book was basically, like I said, it was written by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And it presents the teaching of how to handle your emotions, what the power of your emotions are. Often people hear folks say, you are what you think you are. I'm not a person who really care about the thoughts of others. That can come off a tad bit arrogant or self-indulgent, but it's not. It's mostly the fact that I protect my peace, right? So this talks about how to do that. So it's a really good book. I start books and I try to get my daughter and I to read the book, and then I get her take on it because she's 17, and I get my take on it being the older lady. And I kind of share with her, and it builds our relationship. So we read The Power of Emotions by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And again, like I said, it goes into how to handle your emotions. It uses the Bible. Your emotions would mean how it affects your life. How do you take on things? And what it does is it encourages the reader to find peace within themselves. Power of Emotion. Great book. I think that you should read it. Okay, for what do I sleep in? I'm a person who loves to wear fragrance, right? So I have certain fragrances that I sleep in, and it's my go-to. I have to have. So for March, The ones that I had to have that I slept in was Orange Ginger by Bath and Body Works. So this is the body, and I use this body wash as a bubble bath. So as I was reading the book that I just talked about, I made me a bubble bath. I use this in the shower as a scrub. Orange Ginger by the aromatherapy line for Bath and Body Works is so good. I have so many of these. So I can't even really say that it was just for the month of March. I feel like I go to this one constantly, right? I find myself that I really like this one. This one is, I'm trying to get the notes for you. It has, predominantly is just like orange oil and ginger oil, right? So that's the gist of it. But it just makes my skin so soft. The scrub just, and this is one of them, and I brought one that wasn't open because of course I did not want to bring y'all the one that was on the side of my shower. And I know that often people look at when I post things or I show something, they're like, well, she's not using it. Yes, I am. I am normally showing you the backup. I'm never probably showing you the actual fresh, particularly if it's a body product. I'm not showing you the one that's in my shower. I'm not showing you the one that is on the side of my bed, of my bath. I'm showing you the backup. So yes, I am actually using these products, but I absolutely love this one. So if you like a good orange yet spicy note when you're going to sleep, orange and ginger. Now, for all my ladies who are not really into a spicy scent when they go to bed, the one that I used a lot for the month of March was Coconut Musk Rose by Victoria's Secret. This one was such a beautiful scent. I just fell back in love with it. I bought it initially the first time, and I bought it because, you know, I'm a shopper, so I buy a lot of stuff. I bought this one because it had the coconut milk, the rose, and it was kind of interesting to me. So I was like, oh, you know, let me try something different. It just smells so clean. It's a really clean scent, a really fresh scent. So I found myself, and I actually put a nice dent. I was very impressed with myself. I put a nice dent into this. And I just used it every night. And I enjoyed that. And I'm going to continue to do that. Instead of me going through so many different fragrances or notes and smells every night or, you know, whatever, I'm going to pick one, maybe two, and I'll use those for the month. Because actually the idea that I did for March worked out great for me. I was able to really get through the fragrance. But coconut milk is just that. It's like a latonically rose scent. It's really clean. It's really fresh. It's not overbearing. This was great for me to wear at night. So now we're going to get into what was the fragrances I found myself constantly reaching for March. I wanted to do a fragrance tray. And every time I set that video up, I don't know what it is. I just don't never seem to want to post it. It doesn't give me. It gives copycat, right? So, and there's so many trays that are out. So once I figure out how to get a monthly tray idea that is genuine to me, not so much of a copycat of what you see of what everyone else is doing, then I'm gonna do that, right? And then it's hard for me to do a tray because I never seem to stay on the tray. I always seem to find something else behind me that I'm interested in wearing. And that's really how I wear my fragrances. I don't really have a set of fragrances and I say, okay, I'm only going to wear these set of fragrances. It is how I feel in the morning. If I feel like, I want to wear something that's has peony in it, then I go and I find all my peony fragrances on the shelf and I grab one. So I haven't really mastered the whole tray idea. So if that is one of the things that you are interested in me doing is a monthly tray, I'm working on that. Just keep that in mind. But what I did do was I do pick out my body sprays that I'm going to wear for that month. And one of the body sprays that I picked, I took down to wear was Pure Wonder. Pure Wonder by Bath and Body Works is simply a gorgeous, clean fragrance, right? I was trying to find the notes that I could tell you about it, but I really cannot see those notes. But it's ice, rose, starry jasmine, and like a white warm amber, right? So that's what's inside of here. And it's really pretty, really gorgeous. But to me, it was a perfect copy of Michael Kohl's Wanderlust. This one here. It was like the same thing in a bottle. So when I decided to actually wear this one here, it's almost like I don't really know too many other fragrances that are in my collection that would not work great with it. Then this one here, it works absolutely beautiful. It's the same scent, right? So if you wanted to find something that was a good copy of Pure Wonder, because Pure Wonder probably is not still there, then go get Michael Kors Wanderlust Sublime, right? Sublime was the one that I actually ended up going to get. Same thing. There's a meme that's going on TikTok. Same thing. That's what. Another one that was one of the ones I took down that I wanted to try to kind of get a good feel for was Bath and Body Works Poppy, right? So Bath and Body Works Poppy, and again, I have a whole spring video that kind of goes into depth. I know that I'm kind of like scanning past them, but I have one that goes into depth that talks about some layering options. But Poppy is going to be your fresh morning dew, your wild poppies, your sugared rhubarb and juicy pear, right? Because of the juicy pear and the rhubarb that was in it, I found myself to constantly use this one with Delina, right? Every time I would want to, I would pull this one out of my little box to wear for that day. I pull the spray out, and then I just go find me a fragrance. That's pretty much, like I said, that's how I do it. I grab the scent, I walk around to this area of my room, and I find a scent to go with it. Delina. If you have not smelled Delina extrait, exclusive. I always call it extrait because it just seems like it is so strong, but it's exclusive. It's beautiful. You tell me, do y'all want me to talk about all of the perfume Demolies that I have in my collection? Because I could do a video on that. But this is one of the ones that I just really fell in love with. It's a really beautifully soft, gorgeous scent. But with Poppy, it just makes it just that much better. Brings it into a nice spring. So, of course, spring started on March 21st this year. So this was probably one of the first ones that I went to go get. But this one here was another one. I wore these two a lot in March. And I think you should try it. Okay, Cozy Sunday Morning. Cozy Sunday Morning is a gorgeous lavender, vanilla, sandalwood type spray, right? But Cozy Sunday Morning, again, just like the Pure Wonder one that Bath and Body Works made, this is a perfect copy to Lazy Sunday Morning. This was my go-to because I work at home, and a lot of times I just want to smell fresh. You know, I'm not really wanting to be too loud. I mean, I'm in the office by myself. I'm talking to people over a screen, right? They can't smell me, but I still want to smell good. Cozy Sunday Morning with Lazy Sunday Morning. I'm telling you, it's the same product. It's the same thing. So if you're one of those kind of people who was looking for a fragrance, kind of don't really want to get the bottle of the fragrance because you're not probably at that stage yet, you can go to Bath and Body Works and get one that's really close. These two are great together. Lazy Sunday Morning is such a white t-shirt, comfortable leggings type fragrance. It's a cozy fragrance that you just fresh, you are approachable, It is just what the name says. It's like a lazy Sunday morning where you just laying around the house. You probably have already made breakfast. You got dinner on. You just want to kind of get comfortable. You're getting your mind ready for Monday, because Monday's always not the greatest days. I don't remember how often I wore these two, but I'm pretty sure it was probably every Sunday or at some point on a Sunday. Okay, Sweet Pea was another one that I reached for a lot in March. Sweet Pea, the bottle now is actually gorgeous. I really like it. Like when I got this one, the bottle was kind of square, kind of like that dark, or like you saying, it was like a dark, shiny, almost like foil. Like the bottle now is like kind of see-through, and I'm trying my hardest. They took the flowers and put the flowers around more. I'm trying my hardest not to just buy fragrance just because I like the way the bottle looks, but I fall victim to that because I still have a lot of this one, and the fragrance in the inside does not change, right? Just the way it looks on my shelf, but that's no more here and there, right? Sweet Pea is basically it's a spring scent. It's one of those scents that you can wear year round, but whenever I smell Sweet Pea on someone, I instantly think of spring. I think of summer dresses or all those type of things, right? So there's like Sweet Pea, it's watery pear, it's sheer freesia, it's raspberry, and it's soft musk. But what I found myself all of the month of March, when I would grab this one, what I found, I've grabbed various different fragrances, but I always seem to always go back to Pairing Ink by Josette Has a Gun, or I find myself constantly going back to this one. It's that pear note in it that it was so refreshing and so beautiful and nice and airy. When I reach for Sweet Pea, I find myself constantly on my shelf grabbing this one. Now, there were other raspberry fragrances that I did pick, and I'll make sure that I post those. But Josette Has a Gun Pairing Ink on a female. If you want to kind of give it more pear and less kind of vetiver-ness to it, pair with Sweet Pea. Okay, the last spray that I'm gonna talk about, and then I'm gonna get into the body oils. I've really gotten into like a body butterness, right? So we're gonna talk about those. The two body butters that I find myself constantly wearing, no matter what scent that I put on. At some point throughout the day, maybe in the evening, before I take my shower or whatever, I will put these lotions on. But we're gonna get to that. I'm moving too fast. The last one that I reached a lot for was Hibiscus Paradise. And again, like I said, I have a video up that talks more about the layering combos that I think can go with each one of this. But right now, I'm just telling you about the ones I found myself constantly grabbing. So this one was the Pink Hibiscus, Juicy Guava, and a Sun-Kissed Coconut. I found myself constantly going for Le Beau from Jean Paul Gaultier. And I know that this is geared towards men, and that's a whole other topic that I do not care who they market the fragrances to. If the fragrances smell good, that is what I'm getting. If you have not smelled Le Beau by Jean Paul Gaultier, I feel like you're missing out. I feel like you're missing out tremendously, because Le Beau is such a beautiful pear, coconut-y fragrance. Like it's great. It's one of the ones that smells great on a man. It smells great on a female, because it has like coconut and vanilla, and it's like a citrusness to it. It's an airiness to this fragrance. This is good. This is really good. And I know that it was supposed to be it came out at the same time for them to partner it with La Belle. So La Belle was for the woman and Le Beau was for the men. As you see, I bought them both, okay? So I'm not really a stickler for any one particular fragrance, but this one here with Hibiscus Paradise worked beautifully, worked absolutely beautifully. And it was simply because it was like a coconut, vanilla, airy deliciousness. And where this had the guava, the coconut, and the hibiscus in it, it kind of made it real spring delicious. It made it really, really nice. And I'm gonna try not to go back to this one for April, but for March, this one had me in a bit of a chokehold. Okay, and to round it off for March, and I don't even know if it's fair to put it in March, so you may perhaps see this one again in April if I do this video again for April. I got my hands on Cookie Butter by Skin Potion. Man, this was so, God, this was so good. This was so good. This was so good. I'm mouth watering already. It was so good, so delicious, so edible. And to top it off, what I wore this one with, just to kind of test it out, was Almond Cookie. I don't know if y'all remember this one, but it was Almond Cookie by Carol's Daughter. These two together, oh God, great. I cannot wait for them to come out with an oil, because they have a common citral oil. So I'm thinking that sooner or later they're gonna start making oils for all of them. When they get that cookie butter oil, you know I got it. You know I'm getting it. You know I'm getting it, because all I have left of the Carol's Daughter toilette is this one here, and I'm gonna turn it this way to show you that there is a substantial dent in here. I want to say it's right here, and I'm trying my hardest not to use this up, because this has become so hard to find. So that's why I'm gonna put it out in the atmosphere. I need Skin Potion to come up with an oil for cookie butter so that I can go ahead and use this up, because then I have something else to go to. But this was a great one that I found in March, or that I was able to receive, should I say, in March. And so you may see it in April. I'm telling you now, you may see it in April. But in March, I found myself constantly, really the end of March, I found myself constantly wearing Cookie Butter and Almond Cookie by Carol's Daughter. Okay, so I did use a lot of facial type products I want to kind of get into to lighten my skin, to not really lighten my skin, that might be a bad way to put it, to kind of tone out. My skin has a lot of different colors in it from just age, right? Just being on the planet, you know what I mean? So I have freckles and so forth, so on. That's a lot around my eye area, you know, it might be a little dark. So I did find myself that I got into a vitamin E lotion that I use, and I have it posted right here, and I don't actually have it in front of me, so I'm gonna have to use pictures to show you. I did get into that. For my body, I wanted to kind of start to exfoliate a little harder than I was, because I do use a exfoliant a lot, like maybe every other day, every shower, so forth, so on. And that is the one that I've talked about, and I have a video that talks about my body care products. But Tree Hut is my go-to. Tree Hut is my true go-to for exfoliant. But this past month, I got into coffee scrubs. So I'll post a picture of the actual coffee scrub that I got into. And I don't know, I'm kind of here and there. I'm not really sure how I feel about the coffee scrub. It was a little messy for me. And it didn't really do much more than, say, my Tree Hut, right? So I'm not positive that I will probably continue to use this one here. I don't know if I picked the wrong brand. If you know of a good coffee scrub, please let me know. Tell me about it in the chat. I do need to probably get into that, or kind of stick to what I have. But everything I've talked about in this video is what actually had me locked up for March. And I enjoyed doing it. So I appreciate the subscriber that asked me to talk about what are the things that I was most interested in, what was my favorites in March, because I never really thought about it. I really didn't. I never really thought about it. I kind of just wear my fragrances. I kind of wear my lotions. I kind of just do whatever it is that I want to do. And I never really sat down and think about if there was ever a group that it constantly had me going to. So this was fun. So if you all enjoyed this video, thumbs it up. Tell me about it in the chat. Share the video so that it can make it around. But every time you hit a thumbs up or you like the video, it lets YouTube know that you like my content, right? And also lets me know that you like what I'm putting out. Because again, I want to make this channel where it's something you will watch, right? I don't want to just be putting out videos. So on that note, I'm going to tell you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, whenever it was that you got to see this video. I greatly appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video.